Now this is exactly the kind of feeling that I wanted to get when I heard Tales of Zestiria was getting an anime. When I heard it was being animated by Ufotable, I thought, damn, this is going to be gorgeous. And in this episode, they managed to capture that perfect feeling of harmony in nature, that perfect feeling of Sorey and Mikleo's unspoken bond. Oh man, just everything about it was gorgeous. For one thing, the backgrounds, the natural, like the way they've drawn everything, the mountains, the water, every bit of it was absolutely gorgeous. When we had Mikleo like walking through the swamps and getting wet in the rain, and man, it just looked so damn good. And then we had Sorey like going through the forest, and we had those weird giant snakes in the skies, the Trangalongs or whatever. They were creepy as hell, but they reminded me so much of Mushishi. And it was great because this story is very Mushishi-like as well. I mean, Mushishi is one of my favourite anime of all time. One of the reasons that I love Tales of Zestiria so much is it's that whole balance between nature and humanity, and man, that kind of feeling. We had it in this episode. And with that Trangalong thing, we were also hinted at exactly what's going on when other humans see Sorey fight. Because they see Sorey doing ridiculous things. But every now and then you have an enemy that looks natural to humans. Like to all of the humans there, to Alisha and all the knights, they just saw a normal Trangalong, which is normally a gentle creature, attacking everyone. But through Sorey's vision, he could actually see that had already turned into a Kilma, a Hellion. And so he had to take it out. So I like that. They're hinting at things bit by bit. They're bringing in all the different elements to it, talking about the serifs of different elements. And we had this moment. The moment that was so painful in the game, they've made it so beautiful in the anime. I mean, in the game, the reason that Mikleo and Sorey split up is completely different. Obviously, I won't spoil that for you guys, but it's got a very different feeling to it. In the anime, it was just gorgeous. We had Mummy Lila talking to Mikleo about what he actually wants to do, figuring out that he wants to in some way be of use to Sorey, and setting him out on a journey. She didn't worry about the fact that he may be in danger, because she knows Mikleo is a big boy, and if he really wants to help Sorey, he's going to have to be strong. And then meanwhile, we had Sorey's reaction to that, which was to just completely freak out. Be all like, oh god, Mikleo's gone, doesn't he know he could get attacked by a Kyoma? Like getting ready in a frantic panic and shit. That was so cute, man. And then he realised, like, he was suddenly stopped and realised Mikleo must have had a real reason to want to go alone. There must be some reason. And so Sorey decided, fine, Mikleo wants to be off by his own. He's made this choice. I can respect that. Despite the fact that these two have not been separate since their birth. Oh man, it's just so goddamn adorable. Seeing them act like this, act like, you know, this point where they finally realised each one of them has a different path. Mikleo wants to join Sorey on his path, but he's realised he can't. We got all those clips in this episode of him watching Sorey from behind as he's been before. He's constantly been feeling bad for Sorey because Sorey's always been taking the damage, getting hurt, getting in the way of danger. And Mikleo realises he can't do anything anymore. Whereas before he always used to be at Sorey's side with his staff to back him up. I mean, he tried to do that with the back Kyoma 2 episodes ago and it just didn't work. Sorey and Lila are on a different level now. Mikleo can maybe stop Kyoma a little bit with his water magic, but he can't purify them. And so he realised he had to find a way to actually get up to Sorey and Lila's level. And so it's so adorable. He's gone off by himself. He's on this journey. And meanwhile, even though they're separate, they're both just continuously thinking about each other. Each one of them making their journey to their next location. And as soon as they got to it, each one of them said the exact same thing. Oh, it's my win this time. As if they'd both beaten the other one there, even though they got there at pretty much the same time. Oh man, it's just so cute. And like I said, Lila being the mummy, guiding them through that. She was perfectly fine with the idea if Sorey wasn't ready to leave Mikleo. When Sorey was getting ready and throwing his clothes on and frantic about everything, she was just chilling. She was fine with the idea that if he wasn't ready to leave Mikleo, they could go charging after him and change their plans. They could end up going to the Galahad ruins first, but nope. Sorey got over it. He got more mature. It was just such a great moment. And we also had those little flashbacks to when we had tiny Sorey and small Mikleo. Oh, it's just so cute, man. So yeah, I loved this episode for that. The music was incredible during that scene as well. They played the instrumental version of Journey's End, which, unsurprisingly, I now have in the background for this review, because it's just such a beautiful song. Ah, and it's just so sweet to hear them both talking about each other, see all that perfect animation of the forests, the water. Yeah, that was exactly the kind of feeling that I wanted for this scene. So, other than that, this episode was great for a bunch of other reasons. We got our first glimpse at a Zestiria dragon, and for some reason, Sorey isn't running the fucking other direction away from it. I mean, Sorey should not be able to handle a dragon right now, like, no matter what. I know Velvet did in Berseria, but she's just on a different level. Sorey is not ready for that shit, but despite this, like, he doesn't know about dragons yet, and Lila wants him to learn by himself, like, go through his own trial and error process. So she's letting him chase after this dragon, despite the fact that she knows this could go horribly wrong. She wants him to do exactly what he's saying, where he's like, I don't know what I can do when I find the dragon, but I want to go and see what I can do to try and help. Knowing that dragons are a blight upon the land, seeing all the destruction the dragon caused to Lady Lake, he just wants to track it down and see if he can stop it in any way that he can. So yeah, it's just adorable, it's lovely. Sorey has set out on his path to become a shepherd. Mikleo has set out on his path just to become strong enough that he can actually support Sorey in that journey. And I mean, we heard a hint of what exactly Mikleo is aiming for. Lila did say, if Mikleo goes to the Galahad ruins, he should be able to find a divine artifact. And when it comes to the divine artifact, she mentioned that it was just like her sword, which obviously when that sword went in to Sorey, he was then able to summon Lila and have Lila inside of him, basically use her in battle. So it's going to be a very similar thing where when Mikleo gets his divine artifact and goes back to Sorey, they'll actually be able to fight together. And oh, that scene at the end of the opening, you know that's coming. That's going to be amazing. That might actually come very soon. For what I think is going to happen, they're going to get to the Rayfork Spirit Crest, and we've already seen that little tiny hint of Best Girl Edna coming in. I mean, I call her Best Girl, but really I've always combined Lila and Edna as Best Girl. They're very different, but they're both just amazing. Edna's going to be so much fun, and I was so happy to see her in the preview for the next episode, just drifting behind Sorey and Lila. Sorey's just like, Lila, who's that girl? It's just like, wait, what the hell? That was brilliant. And she's going to have such a good story. Shit's going to go down. It's going to be amazing. Her personality is just great. Her design goes with it so well. And we're going to get more views of the goddamn dragon. And it may be linked a bit to Tales of Berseria. We'll see. I'm not sure if they're going to change it up in that way at all, but they could definitely do that from the next episode. They could link it a little bit. Either way, it's greatness. We have Mikleo going to get his divine artifact, then to join Sorey. We have Sorey heading to the dragon, to Rayfork Spirit Crest, and he's going to pick up his next party member, who is just about the best one that they do pick up. So I'm happy. And we may even get a glimpse of Zavid too, depending on where he's floating around in this world right now. He should be around there. That's where you're supposed to first meet him. But we'll see if they actually throw that in or they save him for later. So yeah, incredible episode. The feeling throughout this one was just brilliant. When the dragon was there, it was nice and creepy. We had that moment with Sorey, like, feeling like a hero. Everybody cheering him on, even though he didn't actually do anything. Everybody just liked him. And then later on, we had that creepy moment with Bartlow trying to get Sorey under his control, as he will continue to do. And Sorey calling him out on his bullshit, which was brilliant. It was like, oh, you want to be my friend? Doesn't feel like it. It's just like so cold and easy with that response. It was just straight up like, nope, you're just trying to buy me. Clearly don't want to be my friend, not like Alisha. So that was brilliant. Everything about this episode was fantastic. And I'm wondering who that dragon was, because that did not appear to be Eisen. Eisen is an orange dragon. That dragon was like deep violet and black. I'm wondering Might it be Velvet? Is that what happened to Velvet at the end of her life? Oh, man. Either way, fantastic episode. I loved it. Everything was beautiful. The music, the animation, and the storyline that they went through in this one. Lots of character growth. Mummy Lila is the best. Baby Sorey and Mikleo is so adorable. And next episode, we're getting Best Girl Edna in. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this episode. And if you enjoyed this review, wreck that like button like you mean it. Subscribe if you haven't already to see more. And I will see you guys next time.